Welcome all. Welcome to the session on question pool. So in this session, we are going to cover a few key details about question pool. To begin with, I first want you all to know what is the purpose of the question pool feature. Through the question pool feature, we can reuse the questions which are already there in the question bank. We have accumulated these questions over a point of time. So it is time to reuse these questions and create tests. It can be topic-based test. It can be with multiple topics and under the same subject. So we can use the filter that you see over here in order to help us create a test. So first I want to show you how the filter works. All the user needs to do is select the grade, select the subject and click on filter so that the list is displayed over here. This shows the list of all the questions which are available for this grade and this subject. So that takes care of how the filter works. Now moving on, will see how to create a test using this particular feature. Now, when the user wants to create a programming test, what he will typically do is, with the help of filter, he will first filter out the questions which belong to placement readiness test and programming language. Inside this, when he sees these questions, if there are more than so many questions to browse through, he might just select randomly some questions randomly, and he might just click on add to test, which is going to make sure that it creates a temporary test and it adds those questions to that test. And we can continue to keep adding because each test needs 10 questions. So we are done adding 4. We are going to keep adding till we come to the number 10. So what happens is once we are done adding the questions, what we can do is click on the Save New Test. What is going to happen when we create the Save New Test? When we click on Save New Test, it is going to create a test which is based on placement readiness test and programming language. So when I create this, you are going to see that it takes me to a summary tab which shows me that it is placement readiness test and programming language is the subject. This is a default name given which we can change over here. And later on, the one key thing to remember here, when we click on the save button, that's when the test actually gets saved. If we do not hit on the save button, the test will not get saved. So please remember, we have to come down and click on the save button so that the test will be visible in the test tab and the changes will not be lost. Okay, so we also want to highlight one key thing here, that after filter, if the users come to see that there are 2 questions which are exactly the same, if anybody comes to see the duplicate entries, they can definitely go ahead, use the delete button and delete the duplicate entries. And in addition to this, we quickly saw how to create the new test also. And we also can, the moderators, while they are reviewing it, if they come across any kind of mistakes, as I explained earlier, they can definitely do the edits here and they can click on save. Now, the reason why we do not see the save button for some questions is because they have already been added to a test and those tests have already been attempted. So that is the reason why for some selected questions, we do not see the save button. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the session. So keep your questions coming and we would love to hear more on this particular topic. We would love your feedback. Thank you so much for watching.